Okay, call the meeting to order. It is 3:15 or thereabouts Central Time on Saturday, November the 2nd, 2019, from cyberspace via Zoom. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Call the roll. I have Ray Baxter. I have Lee Lochner.
Shout out if you're here. Here.
I can see that. We do not see Dave Stewart or Marie Vesta. Okay. Then go back to the board of advisors. I saw Gabe somewhere.
Shout out if you're here.
I thought I saw Gabe logged in somewhere.
I'm here. I'm in one of the little boxes playing Hollywood Square.
No problem. We got to get this. Bill James is there. I can see him. John Kennedy.
Yep, I'm here.
Am I missing Jay Melnick? Okay, Jerry Minnick.
Oh, Jerry.
I don't know where he went. Judy Talura, I saw her.
Here.
And I saw Sam, or heard Sam. You there somewhere, Sam?
Would have been so nice if they had just said here.
Speaker's view. Let me.
I see him, but don't know if he's here or not.
I see Sam.
Okay,
He's on
I've
the
got
phone and
non-videos
he's
blocked. So I've got non-videos blocked. So, okay. Asking everybody to please mute their mic until you wish to speak. When you make a motion or second a motion, state your name and user group. And make sure you're not talking over anybody else. Is there a motion to dispense with the reading of the minutes from the last meeting? And just a note, minutes will be on the website or the website for the last meeting and will be on the website for this meeting.
Can't hear you, Lee. You're muted.
I'm not sure anybody else got your thing on this either.
So moved.
I will second that, John
I'll put
Kennedy.
the sound back on. I made the motion. To
Okay,
dispense
Lee
with
makes the
minutes.
motion, John seconds it. Dispense with the meeting. The minutes are second it. President's
All those in
hey, that's
favor
me.
of the motion signify by saying aye.
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 I haven't got that far yet. Okay.
Or raise your hand.
Okay, that'd be the board. Okay. Now, we're going to give my president's report, which should be around here somewhere.
Wipe that grin off your face, Poplock.
Okay. As we approach the end of another year, we'd like to look back to where we've been and look where we need to go in the future. Several things have been accomplished this year. There have been 4 very successful virtual technology conferences, an ever-expanding speakers bureau, and a website full of constantly changing information, to name a few. Do urge you to check out the website. There are a few more informational-packed virtual technology conferences planned for 2020, and I've even heard a couple hints of some of the topics, and I'm sure you want to make sure you check out the websites for the dates and the presentations. We tweet, and I can't remember what the other one is, and we post on our Facebook account several times a day. Facebook is good to keep up with what's going on in the world. Do you and your group subscribe to APCUG's Twitter, Facebook's account? That's something you probably need to do, and to make sure your members do so they can get used. It's more than just Facebook news, more than just APCUG's, it's what's going on in the world. Today you'll be hearing a lot more of what APCUG did in 2019. We look forward to working with APCU member groups to help their members. APCUG offers many benefits, and they're updated often. Need a program speaker for a meeting? Check out our speaker bureau's interactive webinar or the YouTube VTC videos, or any of the videos on the YouTube channel. There are a lot of good topics, and they're also great for when the speaker doesn't show up. If APCUG can help you and your group anyway, please feel free to contact your regional advisor or anyone else on the board. Our emails on the website at www.apcug2.org. Now what we need to do is move back to the annual meeting. And Ray, you want to give the treasurer's report?
I'll be glad to. I want to see if I can make share the screen. I have a PDF I want to put up, and I've not done this before. So if I say share, this might actually work. All right. Can everyone see the report I'm showing with the?
Yes, that's fantastic.
Okay, so what I put together with this time was going back to the year 2016. You can see we had a sizable loss that year, and that was due to the Las Vegas conference that we had. Everybody loves to go to Las Vegas, but we probably needed more people. We realized when we do these conferences, we are going to lose money. For the years 2017 and 2018, we basically stayed the same. But now we're going to have a conference in Florida this year, so I'm already giving you a little bit of a forewarning that we will probably be losing some money again this year. But we have enough in the bank, and conferences kind of have gone on the wayside. We don't have as many as we had in the past, so we're going to keep holding them until nobody wants to come anymore. Any questions on the report?
No, thank you. And no other questions? If not, we will make a note that it's been given. Thank you, Ray. Now we're going to go to Lee for her membership and publication report.
As of October 30th, 2019, we have 146 active user groups compared to 158 last year. During the year, some groups combined into one, whereas others disbanded due to the decline to an age of membership and members not stepping up to the plate to serve as officers. However, several new groups joined us in 2019. We are still doing reports that are published quarterly and posted on the APCUG website.
Okay.
Ray, would you stop sharing your screen, please? Oh, I do love the gal going across the beach.
I've got that one on my thing too.
That's kind of dating it.
Oh, that's what, Windows XP or something?
Lower left-hand corner, or up at the top, rather. It's a green and black bar.
You're looking at my screen. I'm the
No,
beach.
mine says you're viewing Ray Baxter's screen.
Yes, but you're looking at my beach.
Oh, in Hawaii?
Well, no.
I thought that was Mexico.
I don't know. Kind of looks like Haystack Rock in Oregon to me.
Really?
Oh, no.
Okay, but Ray still needs to stop sharing his screen.
Yep.
Okay, well, we'll pick it up when we get into there. Well, now we're going to go to Judy, and when Judy shares her screen.
I can't share. Oh, well, okay, I'll give it a try. We have to keep thinking we are technology people here. I can't share my screen until Ray stops sharing his. David, unmute him so he can say something.
We got it back.
Thank you. All right.
I just went in and you got to be, I guess, a presenter to do that. I have it on my ability to cut it. Okay. Now you can share your screen, Judy.
Got it. Oh. Come on, you can do it.
Hit F5.
You remember that didn't work last time, but I'll do that. Ooh, work. Yes, outstanding. Let me move this stuff out of the way up here. Okay. All righty. I'm going to give various committee reports. Most of you know about this stuff, but hopefully it's new information to a few people. So we have a benefits committee, and it's our job to look for new benefits from member groups. If our member groups have something, they might say, hey, why don't you guys offer this? One of the biggies is insurance, but that's one of the things that we can't offer as a benefit. And then it's on our side, it's our job to come up with brainstorming and come up with new benefits for the group. So this is a two-way street. You guys think of something, let me know. And if we come up with something, and what we come up with is something that we have, interfaced with several of the groups to see if they're really interested in something that we might, come up that's new. We might think it's great, and you guys might think it's the worst idea that ever came down the pike. So with our discounts, we have a Geeks on Tour 20% discount on a 12-month subscription, and that's new. And our good buddies, Linda and Jean Barlow, are still offering that half-price discount on True Image and Disc Director. They are an independent duo, and they really don't have anything to do with Acronis, but he does give much better tech support on those programs than you can get by getting them from Acronis directly and paying double the price. Your editor receives push articles that I compile. I receive them from editors and authors. They're all original work. They're on a variety of subjects, and every once in a while I'll see a newsletter that has used something from last year. Many of them are not time sensitive. They are just information articles. And it's called push because we're pushing the information out to the editors to use in their newsletters. I do appreciate it when they arrive in my inbox as opposed to me having to visit all of the newsletters and taking a look and seeing if there's anything in there that would be of interest to all of the other editors. I've contacted columnists and websites and said, hey, can I have permission for APCUG member groups to use your articles, your blog articles, whatever, in their newsletters? And so far I haven't been turned down, which is way cool. And some of them, upload them to their website, attach the zip file to the website, editors use one or two articles in their newsletter. Some people don't use anything at all. They just link to how to geek articles and make use of articles and things like that. And some newsletters, like the 5 that I put together, are all push articles. And years ago, the editors that were still had 10 to 12 page newsletters said, hey, will you please add the number of words in the cover email? So if we just have a small space, we don't have to open up every article and find out, it's over 1,000 words when we need something that's 2 or 3 or 4 words. So I incorporated that. Each article has attribution, and it really should be included in the article, especially the people down below, the Bob Rankins, Leo Notenboom, and all of those other people. I just got permission from Eric Wyatt of Windows Tips to use their articles, and he has a couple of additions to the attribution. And I'm going to need to make sure that, the editors really use that, because I don't want him to look at somebody's newsletter and what he has requested isn't there. And last year, everybody got 148 articles. This year, they got 160. Hopefully you all attended our virtual technology conference this morning and afternoon, and they're quarterly. And I want to give a big shout out to the team that made it go today, Francis, John, Jerry, Bill, and David. And it's something that's free for your members. We really aren't having in-person conferences anymore because people don't seem to attend those. And I always build these as you can watch them from the comfort of your home, in your bathroom, and your fuzzy slippers. And you don't have to go anyplace. You can have people over to watch it. We'd love to have those who see a presentation give a report at their next meeting about it, so it might spur some of your members to attend the next VTC. And we usually have 6 presentations, and you can attend 1, 2, or 3. And then you have the opportunity to see them on YouTube later. We upload them to the channel. The PDFs of the presentations, the handouts are uploaded to the website. And since 2012, when we started doing this, and Huey was the one who started it out, we've had approximately 183 different presentations. And last year, we had, close to 2,000 views of the corresponding months in 2017, 2018. This year, we have 3,145 views, which is way cool because we have more people checking out our videos. And these are the dates for 2020. You need to put them on your calendar. They will be on the website. We'll be sending them out via email. They'll be in reports. And we hope to see you all at the next 4. If you haven't had an opportunity to go to apcug2.org, we'd love to have you make a visit. The information is changing. We have, of course, the information about today's conference. It will seg into, gee, thank you for attending, blah, 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 blah. And if you enjoyed one of the presentations, I would love to have you send me a short review in an email to jtalor@apcug.org so I can post those thank yous on the website. And then again, if somebody hasn't attended a presentation, they can say, oh, Joe Blow or Joe Blow really like that presentation. Maybe I'll attend next time. We are having a conference in Florida. It begins next Saturday. It's on Saturday and Sunday. If you're in Florida, you still have plenty of time to register. You would just come to apcug2.org and click on Read More and go to the registration link, and you're off and running. We have a welcome bag, nifty door prizes, and 9 different presentations for you. There was all information about the contests. This will roll over to the winners of the contests within a couple of days. And we have our tech tips. Jerry has put up 153 tech tips this last year and 188 Apple tech tips. They are all different, they're unique, and a lot of the groups include some of them in their newsletter. They link to the columns on their webpage or put the URL in their newsletter. John has submitted 95 Linux, and I've done 102 Chromebook. I find that when Google comes out with a new Chrome OS, Chromebook kind of gets pushed aside there, and they don't have anything new talking about that. And then they'll start talking about the Chromebooks again. But you guys, if you have something going on with your group that you'd like to shout out to the world, send an email to website@apcug.org. It will really come to me, and let me know what it is and say, hey, we have this on our website, or here's the information. I would love to put it up there under member group news. And to be honest with you, nobody ever has done it, which makes more work for me because I have to go around and look at something that some group is doing that, I think would be of interest to the other groups. And then we have our sponsor news, and we have Gene Barlow's last email that he sent out to all of the groups. We also have the user group locator. Visitors to our website can click on here, go to find a group, and find information about your group. A couple, 3 months ago, I sent the link out to all of the presidents and said, please check your information and make sure it's correct, because this links to the UGLS, the membership database, and it has your location, your address, your GPS coordinates, and a click through to your website, as well as a contact. And in the UGLS, we have a group contact email. It's info@, but it also might be somebody in there who isn't a member of the group anymore. And as usual, not everybody took a look, but I did hear from a few people that said, hey, I really needed to say this instead of that. And so I changed it. But this is the outside community's view of our member groups with, again, a click through to your website. Of course, I love the Speakers Bureau, and we have some kudos up there. Thank you to the presenters. Again, if you have had a Speaker Bureau presentation and you've really enjoyed it, let me know so I can include that information up here. And I hope that every time you do have a Speakers Bureau presentation, you remember to say thank you to the presenter, because it's like when Huey gives one to my group in Florida, or Jerry, or John, it's 10 o'clock their time. And they're working on till 11, whereas, we're at 7 o'clock in California. And that goes for Bob G too. Last time I let him be on at 6:30 so he could go to bed earlier. If you're interested about the history of APCUG, how to contact the board of directors, the advisors, information about what committees are, committee chairs, what they do, it's all on the About Us tab. Member benefits, we have a long list down there. And on the right of that is, it's almost time for renewal and our ever wonderful popular contest if you renew by 12/31. And there's another link to locate a user group. So there's information. If you want to know the first presentation in 2012, you can scroll through all the virtual technology conference links, page after page, and find the very first one up to today's. And in 2018 and 2019 in the Speakers Bureau, we've given over 100 presentations. I just started tracking them in 2018 and 2019. I have a calendar where I put everybody, and sometimes we have 3 on one day in various time zones by various people. And it's very easy to get to the page. It's just apcug2.org Speakers Bureau. We have 23 different presentation topics, and we have 14 presenters. If you have not had Ray Baxter give his presentation about music, you definitely need to book it. When he gave it to my group, there was this one gal that, honest to gosh, she grinned from ear to ear the whole entire time he was giving his presentation. And I said, hey, Ellen, what's up? And she laughed and she said, I have everything he's talking about. I've never gotten rid of any of my old records or anything. And then she proceeded to tell us how she stores hers, etc. Ron Brown is a Google person. He really likes different things about Google and maps and photos, which is always being updated. And he, other than that, is a generalist and has several different topics. Francis has a gazillion topics, too many to list. So I just have a link that you can go to his website and choose one. Bill James is our Android guy, plus Windows, plus home automation and syncing devices. John Kennedy is our Linux guy. If your members are hesitant to use Zoom, he has a nifty presentation that he can give to your group on how you do what we're doing today. Jerry Minnick is our iDevice guy, and a bunch of other presentations. He's unique in the fact that you can have an hour presentation, or you can have 3 15-minute mini presentations of your choice. And he's got quite a list that you can choose those 3 from. Huey loves Chromebooks. His presentations are outstanding. He's coming up with a new one that he is giving at the Florida conference about browsers. He'll also be giving that at the February VTC. I'm a generalist. I'm the kitchen sink person. David Williams is the cloud and social media and a couple of other things. Gene Barlow, and I don't understand why people haven't asked about this, but he has an absolutely outstanding presentation about macro computing. Back in the day when we had a Southwest conference in San Diego, he asked if in addition to his Acronis presentation, he could give he and Linda's macro. And it is absolutely outstanding. He has asked for the next 3 months that he be, not asked to give some speaker bureau presentations, and then he'll rejoin us. Everybody likes to have Bob G. He had 27 webinars in October for National Cybersecurity Awareness Month, but he has a laundry list of other presentations that he can give your group. Leo Notenboom said, hey, I'd be glad to do this, and I really don't think anybody has taken him up on it. Our friend Abby has all of her nifty programs about social media, etc. And the Geeks on Tour love to give presentations. They'll be more than happy to give you a presentation. They'll give you a list that you can choose from, and you can give something that all of your members are interested in. All you need to do is complete the speaker request form. I send back and say thanks to let you know that I received it. I immediately forward it to the presenter. And if that date is good, I back off. I have nothing else to do with it, except maybe to get a thank you to put on the website. And if, like we just happened with the Paradise Group in Arizona, the presenter can't do it on that date. So I get back to the requester and say, hey, do you want to choose a different date? And then we go from there. And this is what a completed request looks like. And then we would have Terry's phone number in case we needed to get in touch with her the day of the presentation. And I know when I send my invitation out, when I'm putting a presentation on, I always include my phone number. And sometimes, we sat there talking on the phone while they're trying to, not Wisconsin necessarily, but while the group is trying to get their speakers to work, etc. So having each other's phone number helps quite a bit. And I am finished. Let me know if you have any questions.
Anybody have any questions?
I like questions.
Okay. Well, nobody said, oh, Bob G had something.
Oh, Bob G, thank you for asking a question.
Judy, mine's more a comment. I always recommend that we do a practice session which takes 5 or 10 minutes so that when we have the actual presentation, they know what to turn on, what to leave off, what to connect to, that we don't wind up with a disaster. And even sometimes some of the most knowledgeable people have something they don't understand, and it's always nicer if you do a little practice beforehand and then have a successful presentation on the day that you actually do that presentation.
I think that should be a must, actually. I do it always with my people, but I bet a lot of those 27 groups didn't get back to you, and it's always a surprise. His next to last present to us, we were actually moving our computer back, but he gives so many to us, we're all buddies, and we're laughing and scratching, and my people are wearing their Avast gear, and we're going, don't start yet, we wanted, we're in a new room, so we were fiddling around with our projector, and he's good about that.
Or you can do a setup like I did, and everything worked fine, and then get to the meeting, and it falls apart because the equipment isn't working right.
Oh, I do a lot of working. You do it in their home, and you hate to say, do it in your home doesn't mean it's going to work. When you're actually in the meeting room and they get there and, oh my gosh, they've changed the speaker setup. Yeah. Oh, gee, we're meeting in another room. And so you just go with the flow.
Yeah, well, okay. I mean, sometimes when they're working from home and here it works out. Okay. Any other questions? Ron has something.
Yes, I'm unmuted. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So Judy, you might have noticed I have a template made up on the last couple of ones I've done. So it's actually a whole form on contact info, just like Bob did, but I have it all, it's all in a template form, and in that template form is my phone number and contact stuff. It also, Zoom has a very good 3-minute video on how, it's a YouTube video on how Zoom works, and I include that link in the template I send out, or the form I send out to them, so that if they have problems, they can just look at that and review it prior to our meeting. And Bob, I do the same thing. I have a practice session before. It works out much better because but the problem is, a lot of times, and Judy, you pointed this out before, is the computer you're doing the practice session on is not the computer they're using at the meeting. So it doesn't, so it's not always the greatest, but anyway, that's what I do.
Would you send me your form? Because the last time you gave us a presentation, you didn't have that.
Okay, I'll send you the form. Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you.
Any other questions? I'm trying to move my screens around to see anybody. I don't see any other questions. So that doesn't mean you can't, when we get to general discussion, bring something up. Now I'm going to turn, Bill, you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Bill James, who's going to be talking about the 2020 advisor election.
Thank you, David. I'd like to thank the 38 groups that voted to approve the uncontested slate of advisors, and I'll read off the group names. Bella Vista Computer Club, Big Bear Computer Club, Bowling Green Computer Club, Brookdale Computer Users Group, Cajun Clickers Computer Club, Central Florida Computer Society, Charlotte County Computer Group, Computer Club of Oklahoma City, Computer Users of Erie, EVC Computer Club, Fredericksburg PCUG, Glendora Society Computer Club, Golden Gate Computer Club, Computer Society, Greater South Bay Users Group, Green Spring Computer Club, GVR Computer Club, Hartford User Group Exchange, Lake County Area Computer Enthusiast, Lawrence County Computer Users Group, Morris Grove Computer Club, NASAC Computer Users Group, North Texas PC Users Group, Northern Neck Computer Users Group, OHCE Bits and Bytes Group, Osher Lifeline Learning Institute, Payson Area Meetup Club, PC Bug, Philadelphia Area Computer Society, Potomac Area Technology and Computer Society, Royal Highlands Computer Club, SALC Computer Users Group, SCV Computer Club, Senior Computer Group of Greater Kansas City, Sterling Heights Computer Club, Sun City Summerlin Computer Club, Victoria Computer Club, Washington Apple Pie, Westchester PCUG. With that, congratulations, Gabe Goldberg, John Kennedy, Jerry Minnick, and Judy Taylor have been reelected to the Board of Advisors.
Thank
Any
you.
questions?
My name's Talor.
What did I say? Taylor, my apologies.
He hadn't had enough wine yet today.
No, it is that time for him, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, okay. Now it goes back over to Judy, advisors chair, who's going to introduce the advisors, and they will give a short report.
Sam, would you unmute yourself and tell us a little bit about what's happening in Region 1?
I said, I can't see him. Is he still there?
Yes, he is, but he doesn't have a microphone. That's
Okay.
weird. Okay, Gabe Goldberg, over to you. Region 2.
Does he have a microphone?
I don't see him.
John, do you see him?
I saw a message pop up a little while ago saying he left the meeting.
Okay,
I
thank
see
you.
GB.
Well, he's GG.
You're right.
Hey, John Kennedy, I see you're there. Thank you so much for being here still. How about regions 3 and 6?
Yeah, he's my man. But I can't hear him.
Can't hear you, John, if you're talking.
Bring the mic down so I wouldn't hear me coughing. Region 3 and 6, we go clear across the northern central part of Ohio to the areas that don't give up winter until July and pick it up again in August, because they're back to having snow and cold, and they keep sending it our way. Very diverse group, gaps between us. A lot of good activities going on. Unfortunately, I gained a group this year in one region, and I'm going to lose a group in the other region. We have an aging group going on, but we have some groups that have tried to keep going by alternating their months of meetings. We have a couple groups that are really going strong with the Speakers Bureau, because if you have one meeting a month, not like Judy, who overachieves at her meetings, no problem getting 12 speakers for a whole year. As Judy mentioned, we probably have over 100 speakers, so that'll take you almost 10 years to use up everybody. I'm happy to be able to be their advisor. I don't get a chance to get into their groups because of the distance, but good group. Always looking for some more.
Thank you.
It's always
Bill
nice going
James,
first.
over to you about region 8. Bill, thank you.
Region 8 is still holding strong. There's 11 groups in my region. We gained a new group this year, the Senior Computer Users Group of Greater Kansas City. We have also more activity from the Crew to Tech, which was a club that was in Louisiana. We have quite a variety of activities going on within the groups, and really very proud of what they're doing. I'd like to see more participation in some of our activities, but we did have a representation in our contest, so that was really good. So all I need to do really is just keep them inspired, so they will continue remaining a member of APCUG. Any questions?
Thank you. Jane Melnick, would you give us a little overview of Region 9? Unmute yourself. Hello?
Is he there?
Yeah. On to me. I have California, Washington, Hawaii. I really would like to, do an in-person Speakers Bureau presentation for the Hawaii group. Hey, Patricia, I can go with you and Al next year. Anyway, and international. Our California groups are moving right along. They're doing some interesting out-of-the-box type presentations. A couple of groups had birds and technology, and it was a bird watcher who uses all kinds of different technology to make that happen. And a couple of them have had FBI agents recently give a presentation. One was really good, and the other guy was so tongue-tied, it was really unfortunate that he was chosen to give that presentation. Some of the groups are starting to use speaker bureau presentations, and their members really like the interactive part at the beginning and then the live Q&A at the end, because it's difficult for many groups to locate, in-person presenters. I know the president of the TUGNet group sometimes works a whole year with back and forth emails trying to get an in-person presentation. And she has had our local KNBC weatherman, Fritz Coleman, who is also a stand-up comedian, come to her group and give a presentations. And he does it between one on-screen weather report. He comes to their group, and then he rushes back to the station to do the 11 o'clock one. The Golden Gate Computer Society has come up with a long list of ideas that they're asked their members to give them feedback about. And again, some of them are out of the box ideas, really innovative and new stuff. So a lot of the groups in California are moving, off, always talking about computers and talking about other kinds of things. The same with the Washington group, KEGS, the computer enthusiasts of Greater Seattle have completely redone their website, and it looks very, very nice. And their president is working on, let's put it this way. He's thinking about broadcasting some of their meetings to people who can't be there. And I've sent him information about Paul Howard's group, Pat Aces, as well as a couple of other groups that have used Zoom, as well as Lloyd's group, who has a Zoom meeting completely. So he's working on that as something new for their groups. Since it rains so much up there, perhaps that's why. The international groups were losing one. They were spread out. It's Perth, and they were spread out and had 4 different meeting locations that were in totally different areas. And by the time, he let me know that he'd appreciated everything he'd received from APCUG over the years, that they were going to close by the end of the year, I thought, what an opportunity to do a Zoom group to keep in touch, because they still had meeting presentations, but it was, it was so difficult coordinating all of the 4 locations. And in Canada, Lloyd, who is here, his group is a Zoom group. And that's the Toronto group. And they lost their meeting location, stopped meeting for a while. And a group of the guys and ladies, their president, got together and decided they would do it via Zoom. In February, I used Zoom because it rained horribly this year. And I had Huey giving one of his cut the cord presentations. And so I said to everybody, how about if we just do a Zoom meeting? And they said, why not? And it worked really well. And I had to do it one other time. Who knew our meeting location that is new to us was closed Columbus Day, and they told me on Thursday, and our meeting was on Monday. And we had an impromptu with not as many people as we should have Zoom meeting. So it's always in the background. If something happens with your location, you can easily put a Zoom meeting together and keep, everybody connected one way or the other. So back to David.
Back to me. Thank you very much, Judy, and to all the advisors that were here to give the presentation. Okay, Mr. James, guess whose turn it is? We're going to talk about, Bill is going to be talking about the contest winners.
There you go. My phones are in the bathroom.
Hello.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank everyone, all the groups that participated in our 2019 APCUG contest. We had quite a good turnout and some really wonderful products that were entered in the contest. So it's my privilege and honor to announce the winners. I'd like to give a special thanks to Judy Talor, who helped immensely getting this ready and getting the PowerPoints and everything ready for us to show today. So to begin with, I will start with the digital photo contest. And in the animal category, we had 4 categories. We had animal, landscape, people, and architecture. I'll get there eventually. So in our animal category, third prize was the female lion, Steve Gale, Central Kentucky Computer Society. Our second place winner was Peacock Reflect with Dan Salinger, the New York Amateur Computer Club. And our first place winner was Go For It, Susie Phelps, Tugnet.
That looks like somebody I know.
In the architecture category, our third place winner, Silver Onions and Knudsen Computer Club of Oklahoma City. Second place was a Tempe Town Lake, Marcy Stearns, Silvercom CTC. And our first place winner was the Los Angeles Fireboat, John Retherath, Seal Beach Leisure World Computer Club.
Yeah, and he's here today.
Yep.
In the landscape category, our third place winner was Moonrise at the Sea of Galilee, Jeff Marcus Tugnet. Our second place was Mamachos Clouds, Marcy Stearns, Silvercom CTC. And our first
Bill froze. Okay. We'll have to wait for Bill to come back again. There he is.
me.
Okay. We lost you. You got to share again. The animal must have bitten through your internet cord.
Hmm.
He's the guy with the teeth.
Yeah.
We laughed at him.
Hmm.
John's going to be sending me a picture of the screen.
It seems like I'm
Can you get your share screen to share?
I have no. Hold on a second.
You want me to do it?
He just went bye-bye again.
Let me know if you want me to finish it.
I don't know if he's coming back or...
I will.
Go on and finish it.
Okay.
so we can get on with it.
Oh,
What?
well, he's gone, so there's no problem.
Can you get into it?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll just race on through here.
That's where we were.
Denali, Donna Whalen, Charlotte County Computer Group. She's a member of one of our brand new groups from Florida. People, Old Time Fiddler, John from the Computer Users of Erie. Girl with Birds, Donna Whalen again from Charlotte County. Riverfront Park by Herb Johnson, Computer Enthusiasts of Greater Seattle, also known as KEGS. Our e-bulletin, third place is Philadelphia Area Computer Society. Don Aerosmith is the one who puts it together. Second place is This Week at CCOKC, and Bill James puts that one together. And first place is the Westchester PCUG, and David and Deb are the ones that put that together every week. The Philadelphia one comes out twice a month. Oklahoma City and Westchester come out every week. With our newsletters, third place is The Outer Edge, John Weigel, editor. The Region 10, Channel Islands, PCUG. I love the name of this, I always have, WYSIWYG. Paul Becker's the editor from the Sterling Heights Computer Club. Third place is User Friendly, the Los Angeles Computer Society. A buddy of mine is Leah Clark, the editor. Luckily, I was not a judge. Websites, third place, Seniors Computer Group, Hank Drayton, webmaster, and they have completely redone their website from the way it looked for 1,000 years. Sarasota Technology Users Group, Marshall Dubois, webmaster, second place. And first place is Bill's new group, the Senior Computer Users Group of Greater Kansas City. And Jack Pierce is their webmaster. And this will be up on the website soon.
Thank you, Judy, for filling in.
You're welcome.
Look like Bill's having some technical problems.
Well, you know how it is in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I know. I'd like to meet the guy that took that picture of that lion up that close.
He obviously, I don't think, did it with his smartphone.
No, obviously.
Let's hope he or she had a telephoto lens.
Yeah. Okay, because certainly it's not the macro photography.
Yeah.
Okay, now is the time to speak or forever hold your peace. This is when anybody that would like to make a comment, have a question or anything, to raise your hand. I will recognize you. Phone hand raised. Who's raised their hand? Is that Huey?
The guy living the good life in the driveway.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. Yeah, Huey raised his hand.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, didn't know whether I'm muted properly or not. Anyway, you were talking about some of the groups doing Zoom conferences. I have attended Ron Brown's Chromebook group that met during their off season. They will, I think, have one more meeting, and then they won't do it through the winter months. That's their season, and then start up again. I've joined them. Lloyd's group out of Toronto. I've attended a couple of their meetings. They start at 7:30, and I finally at night, and I finally say goodnight around 11:30, and they're still going strong. And then I've also joined the John's group, the Paddocks, and I want to go back and watch some of the recordings, the ones I couldn't stay on or that I missed. Some really good discussions and presentations. Are there any other groups that are doing opening their meetings to people online, their members online, that I would like to attend and see what you're doing and how you're doing it? I'm trying to put some information together on that. Are there any other groups that any of you are aware of?
Yeah, as I said, the Central Iowa Computer Group tries to do that. Sometimes we have technical difficulties. Usually we start, but if I don't have anybody signed in, in the first 5 or 10 minutes, I punt it. But usually we do. I try to share and put it out. Judy's been to a couple of ours, but as I said, the time zone difference, and she's not getting in from doing what she's doing in the afternoon until our meeting is half over or 90% over. But we try to get participation. And I thought there for a second, we'll get to you in a minute, Bob, that we had, that we'd lose people. The people that show up on the website, on the Zoom, are people that normally don't come to meetings anyway, or people that have an issue that night coming. So we're not losing anybody that decide they're going to stay home and not come to a meeting. But when you only got about 20, 25 members, it's not a big brouhaha. And I know John Kennedy's coming in. And what I will do is I will add you to the meeting list so you know about it.
Yeah, and just to let everybody know, if they aren't aware of it, for the past 5 years, I've been doing the Windows Special Interest Group for the Central Florida group from Bradenton, which is 120 miles away. I've been doing it, and we've opened it up to anyone, and there are members of APCUG groups that join on a regular basis. Some of them are online here, and I also record it and post it on my website at huey.net, and they're all about an hour long, talking about Windows. And I'm winging it. I put together a list of articles I'm going to talk about, and we go to the websites and we go to the articles and we talk about it. Sometimes we question. Sometimes people correct me. Thank you very much. This last meeting, I said something that I hadn't kept up with. And so it's always good to be able to share the meetings with people from around the country. It really helps. And I enjoy doing it. And anybody that's on here is welcome to join as well. But I would like to see if there are other groups that are doing it. So I interrupted, but has anybody else got their hand up?
Nope, I said Bob G wanted to say something.
Unmute, Bob.
David, could you send me a link to yours when you have your meetings?
Yes.
And Huey, could you do the same?
Yes, I'll add you to my monthly list. I'm not going to be doing, because it would be next week when we're in Zephyr Hills, but
right.
That'll be the first month I've missed in about a year. So,
thank you.
Yeah, Ron. Yes, Ron.
Unmute.
Yes, we're going to, as Huey said, we did our Chromebook meetings, but this Monday, we're actually going to broadcast our regular meeting. We're going to try this for the months of November and December until all our members come down, which is usually January, February, and March. So we're actually going to broadcast our meeting. We're going to try it on Monday for the whole group and see how it works out. I had a question for, and Huey probably knows that because he gets my newsletters. But Huey, I wanted the concern I have is when I'm going to do this, it's a big auditorium and it'll have a PowerPoint presentation onto the screen. The two ways you could do it is you could either set a camera up and have the camera looking at the presenter with the screen in the background, but I wondered, or you could just have it as a share screen, so you just share the presenter's screen. And I'm not sure which is better or which one to do. Do you have any comments?
Yeah, the Paddocks group, and John, you can explain maybe if you're still on, what they have a bunch of equipment, because they have actually two cameras going and they switch back and forth or have both of them on while the presentation is also on the screen. So they have one of the group, and then they also have one of the speaker on the screen, and then they have the screen. but that involves a lot of people, I think, and a lot of good equipment.
Right. So how I'm going to do it on Monday is I'm just going to share my screen of the laptop, so you'll hear the audio for the whole room, as we're interacting, but you'll only see the shared screen.
Right.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest problems is the microphone, because they're not going to hear the speakers well through Zoom that the audience hears. So somehow you have to have a microphone that's also going to go to the computer so that the home visitors can also hear well.
Right.
Yeah. How we're going to set it up next week is I got a couple lavalier mics, but what I'm going to do is we'll just attach a lavalier to the speaker so they can move around, and then the auditorium will have its own speaker, so they don't have to carry two speakers. And
two microphones.
Headset. I think we're going to have a headset for her, but I've got a headset, whatever they want to do. But we share the screen, and then do the, and just do the. I have a separate audio and visual video for that. If you really want to get fancy, you can run a second computer and got a webcam usually a webcam works best, and shoot it towards the screen and do a Facebook Live at the same time.
Ron, do you have speakers in your meeting room?
Yes, we have big speakers around.
That takes care of that, okay?
Yeah, and I have a Yeti microphone here, and I was going to put the surround sound on it, so where it should pick up the 360 degree, and that should be. I was hoping that was going to be enough.
That should be enough.
Bob G, you raised your hand. Unmute.
You waited too long. I forgot what I was going to say.
I think you were saying you wanted to share the screen. I think was what you were.
Correct. Sharing the screen always works best. When it's done a different way, you're getting either a small picture of what's happening, or you get all kinds of interference and shaking and everything else. So sharing the screen always works.
Paul Howard, do you want to tell us a little bit about what you do?
Well, we have the advantage of having some professional video conferencing equipment, but we've also done it in a smaller venue. That you absolutely do not want to use a camera to get your video off a screen. You will not get generally a good representation of what's there. You're far better off in doing screen sharing off the presenter's computer. We've had some challenges from our smaller venue. We wound up buying a second computer as a control computer. I don't even know the technical details, but I think basically we've got a Windows computer and we're running Linux and another. However that's done, I'll leave that to John Kennedy. But in order to deal with some of the sound issues, Windows, every time you plug in a cable in sound, goes and does strange and crazy things. So we had to have a Linux thing running in order to keep the sound squared away. If you run into that situation, I can refer you to our expert, and we can deal with that. For those of you who don't know, we have been recording our meetings, I think, for about 6 years now, from about September of 2013. And most of them are up there. Generally, there's two presentations, a 30-minute and one for an hour and 15 or thereabouts. And you're certainly welcome to use those if you need something to fill in your meetings. We've got some really good presentations out there.
Some of your presentations are fantastic.
Yeah,
Too bad they won't give them at a virtual technology conference. That's my dig for that. Ron Brown, you need to go to PATACS, PATACS.org, and check out what Paul's talking about.
Go to the recent meetings page, and you'll find the links from that. If you need help beyond that, get in touch with me, plhoward@verizon.net. I'll also make one appeal for the geeks and experts to hang in at the end of this. I've got an interesting problem with output of HDMI that I'd like to talk to somebody like Francis, who probably knows just what I have bugging me. Thank you.
Cool.
Yeah, Judy,
Yes.
while I'm thinking about it, maybe we can make a list, I don't know, of how you want to distribute it to the members of the clubs that actually store videos on their website.
Will do. And Huey has an article coming out in reports. We held reports so we could include the winners of the contests and information about the Florida conference this next week. Instead of having that come out the end of January, that always seemed very strange to me. So Huey's got an article about it. I added stuff to it, but yes, I will make a list. I do know the Westchester group in New York had a lot of discussion about it at their board meetings. I sent them a list of where they could look at stuff, and they decided that just wasn't for them. The Greater South Bay Users Group in Torrance, south of LAX, the president would love to do that, but his members say absolutely not. So, know your audience, so to speak.
Yeah. I've had more luck, to be quite honest with you, of pointing people to the APCUG page and having them search and review the articles and review the things in their own home. Because some of them's attention span, sometimes,
Remember the preschoolers.
Yes, but, they're getting it, and some of the stuff they'll go through and they may make 2 or 3 times.
Right.
Because I tried to share some movies and, I liked it, but I said, did you watch it? No, I got through about 10 minutes and gave up.
Another discussion point. Anybody? Somebody?
Okay, I'll make it real quick because I got to run for a family get-together. There are two things across my mind, but it would be timing. I would love to think that maybe our club could partner with another club to have a joint meeting. And that's just a thought. But again, the timing, with different time zones could be an issue. That's number one. And number two, and I know I just sent you this the last minute because I saw blank for, number 2, and it was blank for the first hour, that you didn't have anything. Maybe I could go through something with experiences with Zoom and maybe go through a Zoom instruction. And maybe some of your VTCs, you won't have so many difficulties when you start off at the start of the meeting, like today. Just a thought. And again, it's nothing to be critical about, but just something to think about. Throw it on the table. Judy, if you want to get in touch with me, maybe to set something up.
Yeah.
Just
John Kennedy also has a Zoom presentation that he would give to, he would give his to computer clubs.
No, what I'm referring to.
If I have an opening that I can't fill, like the TBD one, I could have given a presentation, other people could have been. I was actually hoping that somebody would step up to the plate and say, hey, I would like to give a presentation. And nobody did. So my point was, I left it blank.
No, okay. All I'm saying is I'm just throwing these ideas out.
I know.
And if you want me to put together something for a Zoom meeting to show, Zoom and display it and explain things about it, instead of fiddling around with it, perhaps I could do a 45-minute or 1-hour presentation at the next VTC. Just a thought.
I know.
Okay. The other thing is to partner with another group and just to be able to communicate via Zoom while they're having their meeting and we're having a meeting to get together. That would be interesting. For those of you that don't know, we have Zoom meetings where some of the members are all over the world, and it's pretty good. It's very good. And afterwards, we sometimes break up maybe midweek or something to go through some technical problem together. I use it for business purposes, but it's just, this Zoom is just the cat's meow for I think presentations. Bob knows that. Bob has presented to us and everything else. But yeah, so just think about it, and I've got to run. So nice meeting. Everything else still worked out.
And I am sending your next meeting announcement you sent me to Bill James. He was interested to see what you guys do.
Okay, one of the things just for everybody to know before I leave is that we're not as structured as some of the other groups might be. So we have a lot of interaction, and some groups like to have interaction and others like to have the presenter and have it fixed and so on. So when we have interaction, sometimes we start off with one point and then somebody wants to really go into another point in big detail. So we wind up actually concentrating on one particular problem that somebody has. You know, it's sort of like the we help you and you help us type of thing. So anyways, take care. Nice meeting. Gotta run.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lloyd.
Thanks, Lloyd. Talk to you soon.
Yeah.
I do have to say with my last Speakers Bureau presentation, I gave it to the Glendora's Computer Club. They changed their name from the Glendora Seniors Computer Club because their meeting place calls themselves the Lefetra Community Center now because they want to have other people other than seniors there. And we did a tag team. You know, I ask questions. Well, if I'm giving an in-person presentation, I get, you know, answers. You don't necessarily get that when you're giving a Zoom presentation. So we've been friends for, you know, 20 years or plus, so to speak. And I would ask a question and I'd say, you know, Jim, would you please ask your group? And, you know, how many people are using a password program? And we really had a lot of fun. You talk about being casual. There's nobody hardly in the whole world that has a more casual group than mine, except for Lloyd. And we really brought them into the presentation because his comment was, how many times have we talked about password managers and there's only 3 people using them? So we just played off each other and we had a really good time.
Okay, take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Another a topic of conversation. This is your opportunity.
If we don't have anything, we can talk about Paul's HDMI problem.
Well, hold on.
Somebody just popped up on something on chat, but it's hard for me to get to it.
Please excuse me. Yes, I thought I spoke about that. We're coming up upon when we're having a membership contest. If you pay your dues by the end of December, instead of Alexa, I got 3 Google little speakers like the Alexa ones. So yes, there will be the contest, same as usual. I got everything on Prime Day. I scoped everything out at Amazon, and then I bought everything at Best Buy because they had the exact same prices and I could touch and feel everything, and I really like to do that. So
I'm not going to touch that
will
line.
be sent out about that shortly.
Yeah. Well, we also got another Prime Day coming up before we got to do the prizes. So
I want one of the $229 Google Hub things for less money than that. They better have them on the day of Black Friday.
Yeah, I'm an Amazon type of person. So
other topics of interest, questions you've been dying to know about, semi-dying to know about. You know, this is how advisors feel when they send information out to their groups. They don't hear back from anybody.
Yeah. Bob has a comment.
Everybody died. Thank you, Bob.
Bob has a comment.
I have a little plug I want to put in. For my presentation when we're in Florida, the first 30 to 40 people that are part of that presentation will get one of these little goodies. It's an 8 gig USB drive. It looks like a credit card, fits in your wallet like a credit card, but it's 8 gigs of information you can carry around. That's all I'm going to say about that presentation. It's not the presentation you heard today.
You're bringing that to
really
Arizona
cute.
in February, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I will be in Arizona, and that will be the new presentation. That will be 2020 presentation, not the 2019.
But you're going to have the little card for people, aren't you?
No.
No.
There aren't anymore. These are the last of what I have. because they still have an advertisement on it for something Avast hasn't had for quite some time.
Norbert, I don't know what I'm going to do with you.
I had some swag left over, and the Modesta group had a presentation, so I sent the rest of it up to him. So I have my Avast hat and a spare, but all the pens and all the, carry bags are gone. I don't have anything left from Avast either.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody can see that. These are 1 terabyte flash drives. And I got 2 terabytes coming today. Bob, you'll see this the 2 terabytes when I get down to Florida.
Oh, good. Is that one of the things that we could win?
Yes. Well, no. Well, yes and no. That's not something official. Okay. We'll talk about it.
David has newly retired, so he's getting all of this new tech stuff in all his glory.
Oh, my goodness.
What I'm doing, I'm spending way too much time on Facebook.
So am I, David.
Yeah, and as I said, I've gotten good friends with the China Post. I'm getting things mailed from China. I can get it here in under 2 weeks on some places.
Boy, I've most of mine are a month.
Yeah, well, it depends on where you're getting. I've gotten some of the dealers that, as I said, when you're getting these 1 terabyte drives cost me about $10 a piece.
Do they work?
So far, and as I said, I did use Mr. G's McShield to test them before I made sure my computer had it on, and it ran through it and said nothing.
Good.
It didn't say anything bad. It did find one in the scan disk. But so I got the 2 terabytes I got to run through. I got a bunch of them coming today, too.
When you have Bob G's presentation, he sends you a lot of follow-up information, and don't fluff it off. You need to go through it and find out, like David said, check out your new flash drives before you actually go with it. We have a question about, is there a discussion group on APCUG for club PR techniques? Have I given that at a roundtable? Does anybody remember?
It's been a while.
GB, I will take a look at our 3 roundtable discussions they've had this year. And if I have not given the one about PR, I will do it in February. And if I find I have already talked about it, I could send you the link if you would send me your name. My address is jtaylor@apcug.org. Because I have no idea who GB is. I ask
George Bowden.
I ask everybody to sign in with their first and last names.
He did.
Because
he did.
Okay. And I'm sure you're going to send me a listing of all of that.
Yeah, it's in the chat. As I said, he went in and we asked him who it was, and he very politely said it was George Bowden, Victoria Computer Club.
You got it. I think that was Bob G's contact in Victoria.
And he did give it to you again with his email address. So when I send you the text chat from this, you will have it twice.
Thank you.
You'll have his name once and his name in his email once.
And don't forget to send me the attendees of everybody that logged on. Alan, over to you.
Yes, can someone share a source of those 1 terabyte flash drives?
Yeah, David, please.
As I said, I will have to go digging. I found the 2 terabytes. I'll have to...
Either one or both.
That's fine.
Yeah, they existed and they got here. That's the only extent of what I can guarantee them. As I said, when I put them in,
you're not responsible if I order one, you're not responsible if it doesn't come or they don't have them. Don't worry about it.
Buyer
Just,
beware.
Yeah.
David, when
Well,
you
also,
find
as I
it-
said, for 10, 15 bucks, I decided what the hell, you know.
Yes.
When you find that information, send it to me and I can send it out. If you do it quickly, I can send it out with a thank you for attending, blah, blah, blah.
Okay. I'll go back on its Bowden website. I know where it is. I got a whole bunch of stuff, so you can see
Okay.
clothes and all sorts of stuff, you know.
His second floor is slowly going to move down to his first floor. He's going to have
No,
his
you got to remember that
stuff in his office.
I've stopped spinning stuff on this, and it's now on the dining room table.
Oh, okay.
And you have to remember that when I finished almost packing for Florida,
Oh,
I've got 126-inch suitcase full of clothes. Okay, which is, I would say, normal. I have 2 backpacks I'm trying to fit together for the technical stuff.
you're going to have fun going through the TSA.
Yeah, well, you also remember that I'll be having on a scooter. So that's a different thing I've been thinking of. I've got enough bungee cords.
Just put
I'm going to be,
behind you.
And I'm going to have a Jethro's hat on going through. So as I said, I want to impress a lot of people.
Okay, we have to pretend like we don't know him, okay? Any other questions? Any more discussion points? This is your opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, Richard Duran from Wisconsin says they have been using the Speakers Bureau. They have actually been using it since October 2017 when I gave them my first presentation. They have 10 a year, a Christmas party, and a summer picnic. And as Terry Harvey tells me, she can't get anybody in their group to give presentations, nor they've kind of dried up the local people. They exist on Speakers Bureau presentations, and their members seem to really enjoy it. They are getting a wealth of information that they wouldn't necessarily get. And this year, one of their presentation was on they're X number of years old and they're really high up in the years. And a member gave a presentation about that. And I have seen that at several groups recently, that somebody has kept up with the history of the group and has started back in the day and given a really good presentation on what we've done and how we've grown. Hark, the phone in my bathroom is taking a message.
It says phone right. Oh, that's Huey.
Any more questions, suggestions, ideas that you would love to share with everybody?
I just want to continue to capture the techies and the Uber geeks at the conclusion here. So don't everybody go away at the end of the meeting, please.
That's okay, and I want to have a mini VTC conference committee meeting afterwards too before we leave.
I'm going to have to get off of my phone outside, go inside, and I'll probably join you again inside on my battery's dying.
Oh, how sad.
You need to get one of the batteries. I got a couple of those.
I got them too. I didn't think I'd need it this long out here. I had no idea it's a brand new phone, so I didn't know.
Yeah.
It's lasted pretty good.
Yeah.
Now,
well, I had a plug-in extension cord coming out with a, for wireless. So.
If you don't come back, we'll see you next week.
Okay. Yep. I'll be there.
We'll see John Whitmer next week. Alan, are you coming to the conference in Florida?
No, I'm sorry, I can't.
Okay. And David will be there. Sam will be there. John will be there. Bill James will be there. Lee will be there.
I will be there.
Bob will be there. And other people.
I hope.
Let me check the chat again. Let's see.
Yeah, everybody sort of checking out.
Okay. I don't see anything else on here except how about that? The Colorado snow, and it's raining someplace in SoCal. Who knew after all our miserable fires?
On the
Anyway,
30, on the
anybody else have anything to say? If not, we're going to bug out of here. Except for the techies and the VTC people. Nothing? Y'all are going to think of something after we're gone, you know.
I've got your phone number.
Oh, darn. David, we need a motion to...
okay. Yes, as I said, everybody in favor of adjourning?
Yeah, no, you have to have a motion first.
Okay, I can't just say leave. Okay, we need a motion to adjourn. We got who makes the motion? Does it have to be the board
I'll
or
make it. Somebody second it.
the motion to adjourn was made by Judy, Paul Howard.
Seconded.
Seconds.
Just don't turn off the conference.
All those in favor of adjourning the 2019 annual meeting, aye, or just raise your hand.
Yeah, or leave, one of the two.
No, oops, there's something on chat.
Oh, somebody
Really?
thanked us.
Yes, that's always nice. And don't forget, if you have any kudos for the presentations today, send them to me so I can populate the website.
Bob, did you want the link for the flash drives? Is that what you said?
Yes, please.
Okay. You're also going to get one for the $49 touchscreen monitor, too.
Yes, sir.
Other people wanted that, so send them to me.
I'm sending it to you, and you can distribute it out. You'll see who gets it on the thing.